question. Are you seeing the screen, what I'm sharing now?
Yes.
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 Perfect. Go ahead, read the question. Let's see your answer. I will see your answer in a chat box. People from YouTube, you can give your answers in a comment section. I'm seeing answers start coming up. I'll give a few seconds. The rest of them will answer. Don't think you will be right, you will be wrong. Whatever comes to your mind, answer. This is the first skill you have to learn for this exam. You could not keep being correct all the time. It's okay, even if it is wrong. Give it a try. In the chat, I'm seeing majority answer goes with the D, D for Delhi. Now, let me ask one of you, if one of you want to tell me, what is the question's key area? There are 3 paragraphs or 3 sentences given here. 3 blocks of question is there. Which area or which line is very critical line in this whole question? Before you go to the answer, let me first understand whether you understood the question. Who want to speak up about the question?
I want to speak. Question
Go
is
ahead, please.
question is talking about a project manager who is handling a critical project, and he has identified 3 critical risks which can have an impact on the schedule as well as budget. So and this is critical to the company because it is delivering some important deliverables. So
Okay.
now they meet and they try to understand how they can handle this risk. So they understood that as a planning of risk response, they need 3 resources which can address this risk. But that resources is not with them. So they have a resources crunch. So they want to have these resources from another project which is undergoing at that point of time. And that is being handled by another project manager. So in order to get that resources to work on that on his project, John needs to talk with the first person he needs to talk with. That is the question actually.
Very good. Thanks, Ananya, for reading out. Now, I asked everyone here. Some of you really work as a manager. Some of you don't work like a manager. You are reading only PMP right now. Or mix of people are here. The scenario, what is explained here, is it an alien scenario or this scenario is a day-to-day scenario in corporates?
Day-to-day.
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 To answer this question, do you need amazing skill set or a common sense?
Common sense.
Common sense.
Common sense. Common sense with some PMI ethics, right? That will solve it. Now comes 2 things here. The situation, what you see here, can stop your project. Is it possible?
Yes.
When it can stop your project, do you think this can turn into conflict?
Yes.
Why conflict?
Yes.
Why conflict? Because John will get a little agitated because John is running what kind of project? I made a red line there. What kind of project?
Critical
Critical deliverables.
Deliverables for the company.
Company.
When it is a critical, are you automatically under the radar of your company's top management?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you can tell me, Shri, when you are in the radar of top management, I should get the resources immediately. Do you anyone think like that?
No.
We may
That's
sometimes
not right.
we may sometimes think like that. But keep in mind, management will only ask you deliverable, but will not tell you what to do. Is this true?
Yes.
Yes.
If they can tell what to do, then you are not a manager. This is also true.
Yes.
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 Some new managers believe like this: when I go to the company, somehow PMP certified, somehow I'll become a manager, somehow somebody will help me. Then lifelong there'll be somehow. Which means no one will tell you what to do. You have to do. You have to find the solution. Of course, you can take a help, you can escalate it, but they won't come and spoon feed us. Now let's go by the question. Question is critical deliverable. That's a key point in the question. Now, Julie is having a set of people who was working there. Now, which party you should contact? Now, there are few parties given here. Project team members. Who is this team members? John, current project team members. Project sponsor, who is giving funding for this project or approvals for the project. The three resources, who is going to work? Very good. The manager, Julie. Now, by the common sense, who will be the right person to start the conversation?
Julie.
Julie.
Project manager.
Very good, very good. Why we didn't think directly talking with the people who is going to work will help?
That may affect the work which is assigned by the Julie. And yeah.
It
No,
may
I
create a
appreciate-
conflict
I appreciate that idea.
because
Conflict with
because-
who?
with Julie, because she is running those three resources. So it may
Okay.
give a conflict between John and Julie.
Do anyone agree with what Akhil mentions?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Makes sense, right? I think that's a common sense thought process. If I go and talk to the resource, they both will start clashing. Okay, nice. Now it's a critical but deliverable project. Why not we are talking with a sponsor? I think just now I said about that, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because it is
sponsor will ask you only to
responsibility.
manage.
Exactly. Sponsor can come in, but on a worse situation, every time if I'm going to cry to my mom, I want the pencil, mom, I want a razor. Have you seen some kids like that? Even today, some people, grown kids are like that. Something happens office, they cry to their mom, that manager is like that. That mom will, that useless manager, let the manager go away. She don't know who this manager, she'll keep scolding this manager. Okay, some people are like that and they want to promote a senior manager also. Poor guys. Okay, then comes the project team members, the team member whom we are working with. Now, we are talking a lot of agile. We are talking a lot of collaborating with the team. Why not answer A?
Because it is on the schedule constraint is there, so there will be impact on the schedule if you choose to opt the training option. It will take some time and it will impact the schedule.
Okay, okay. But do anyone agree this that new team members, first of all, they are not even allocated?
Yeah, they must not even be knowing them.
Exactly. They're not even, first of all, we don't know whether Julie agreed for it. So what I'm trying to put through this question is reading a question, understanding the situation to see, do I need a theoretical knowledge to answer this question? Or is this question based on some common sense? That clarifies how I'm going to see the answers. And rightly, everyone pointed out how to eliminate these wrong answers. What you did here is a sponsor may not need here, three resources may not be needed here, team member is not needed here. It's an elimination technique. When you use elimination technique, obviously you get to close to the answer. I saw everyone made a right answer. The answer goes to D. Now we have to understand why D is a good answer. Okay, let's see that part. When we say D, the project manager, Julie, has authority. Authority for what? Authority for rescheduling or reallocation of resources. Which resources? Our project team resources, right? Once it will not jeopardize project blue. Project blue is the one she is running. Okay. Now this is a point she can do. Now we know that who has the power. We know Julie has the power. Going directly to the resources themselves undermines a functional manager. So it's unethical. I used the word ethical somewhere. I don't know whether somebody observed it. Whenever you read the question, you have to be very careful. There is something called a PMI ethics. Have anyone heard about PMI ethics?
Yes.
Yes.
What are they?
Don't remember all. Fairness,
honesty,
I think fairness, honesty.
Ethics, integrity, respect, and
Integrity. Can somebody quickly check that?
fairness.
Okay. Respect, fairness, honesty. What is the other one?
Integrity.
Responsibility.
Transparency.
I think whatever we learned in Scrum, everything comes here.
Responsibility, yes.
All right, responsibility. Now look at the way you respect yourself and others' decisions also, and also respect the people around you. You be fair in your decisions, not biased. You are honest on what you converse or what you do for the project, for the benefit of the organization. You take responsibility for your decisions. It's a paragraph which is given in that PMI PDF. I just Google it, you'll find it. If really you work in these 4 bullet points in your day-to-day life, which is very rare, very rare. If you do, you don't need to read this PDF. But more than 98%, we somehow slip here. Okay. Shri, is it? No, man, I'm a very good guy. Yeah, you may be a good guy, but chances are we're missing it. Learn this properly. It's one of the bullet point I keep saying many times, people, please read PMI ethics carefully, because the more you understand the ethics, many question, common sense plus ethics you will solve. For this, you don't need a very scientific knowledge. Common sense with ethics, you will solve the question. So what is unethical is when, rightly you all said, you don't want to talk with the team members because they are reporting to some other functional manager, which is unethical. Come on, man. What is ethical here? Yeah, it's unethical. You are crossing the borderline, which is not good for them. The resources have been identified as a solution to the problem. So it is best to attempt to make this solution work first. How to make it work first? The other options of the project sponsor and working with the project team member would be secondary. I'm not saying it's bad. It could be secondary. And tertiary options, which would probably not work as well right now. So now point is, we understood Julie has the power and she could allocate or won't allocate, but there is a possibility. Now question here, why we are discussing all this topic here? We are discussing because something called negotiation skills. Now you let me know. Do you think John and Julie should have the mindset of negotiating to solve the problem?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, that is required.
If Julie
Since
shuts the door, I don't want to talk, will the negotiation work?
No.
no, and since it is a critical deliverable project, Julie
True.
also has to listen.
True. Do you think John can raise the voice because it's a
No.
critical deliverable in the room?
Not
No.
allowed.
You can't do that. John standing, let's imagine 6.2 tall and a big guy.
That's not a negotiation.
Hey, I'm the big boss here. You know, I'm directly talking to Obama. So please approve it. Not even a word, please do that. It won't work, right? Negotiation is something like both of you going to converse, which can help both of you. Negotiating, you're negotiating. You give one, get one. Kind of. You understood, right? I think Srikanth was pointing about negotiating. Srikanth, you do with the family negotiation. Is this correct, Srikanth?
Yes. We
Everyone
have,
do. Since Srikanth said I'm holding him very well. Srikanth, did you negotiate something with your family for your PMP exam?
yes, with the vacation. Yeah.
God, man, you negotiated really well. All right,
The
good.
special vacation.
Special vacation, huh? Okay. So point is, a negotiation is something like a kind of a give and take kind of thing, but it should go in the right order. Let us see few points about negotiation. Now, people ask here, is this a good question for you to understand that you may not be a greatest book reader, but if you can observe things around you, you can answer this question. Is this true?
Yes.
Yes.
For this question, I don't think you have to mug up whole book. It's a model of a PMP question. What are you going to get? Okay, let's go a little bit more. Okay, look at the skill sets, what is needed for project manager. Negotiation is one of the skill, isn't it? What they see in the screen, negotiation is one of the skill. You may have a lot of skills. One of the skills is negotiation. Why I brought out here is, when I say negotiation, you have to see what all negotiations can happen. First thing, decide to negotiate, like what we saw about Julie and John, identify the issue. I may not go all the bullet points, which can be part of the class. I'll give some highlights. Identify the issues. Define the problem. Many times, this alone will give clarity. Many times, we don't know what problem we are addressing. Without knowing the problem, people start the conversation, but it's a big mistake. Okay. And then understand the problem. Define means elaborating it, understand the problem, depth of it, and build relationships. I like this one very much. Many times negotiation works well with a good relationship building. That is where you have this facilitation technique or cultural awareness, networking. If you see, there's a managerial skills are not each one standing individually. All are interconnected. One has connection with another, some other way. You have to know that. And I like this one. Whenever you go for a negotiation, you should have something called alternatives in your mind. What all can be best option? If not this, what is next? If not this, what is next? When you negotiate, you have to generate alternative ideas and thought process. Evaluate the alternatives. Okay. Now, I specifically recommend this should be done. When you go for a negotiation or agreement, should be writing. Do anyone here have a habit? You go for a meeting room, you converse with your team members or executives. When you come back, you write an MOM, or you will write an email somewhere saying that as we agreed, this is how it is. Do anyone recognize that?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, we do that.
You do that. We very carefully do that. That too, you know, if you don't do, you cannot hold that guy, because that guy has a habit. You know, this called cultural parameters. Some people, your company culture, some people are like that. If you don't hold them by that kind of agreement, they'll forget it. Recently, do anyone had a problem like this in your office? They say something, but they don't do it.
Yes.
I actually had this problem, and that time I forgot to mention that point, and later on they came back and they said that this is not we have agreed upon.
See?
So
See?
I repented. I didn't capture that point at that point of time.
It's a big mess. It's a big mess. You have to capture it. Even though you capture it, some people don't bother, you know. That's also there. Even if you put in an email, they say, oh, okay, so what? They say, so
Exactly. They don't bother to read it also.
no. If they would have said Friday will deliver it, but they didn't deliver it. You go and check with them why you're not delivering. They say, no, we don't say that we'll deliver it. Man, we discussed and I put in an email. They look at you like a crazy nut. So, so you deliver it, man. Then the escalation, all things happens after. That's a big story. Same thing happens, right? Even between countries now, they want to cease fire before there's a war. Things are happening, but they don't cease firing. They keep firing. They say we will not hit a hospital. They're hitting hospitals. But all the level we have this problem. That's where come back again the PMI ethics, responsibility, honesty. I would have said multiple times about the ethics. The reason is when the basement is not clear, whatever you build on top of that keep on failing. I have many people highly qualified, but the base is not good. They cannot get promotion. They cannot get a job change. They cannot be shining in their field. The reason is the base is struggling. So PMI ethics talks about that. Being responsible, accountable, and honest, fairness, those all comes there. Let's go like this. Congratulate others. When you go for a negotiation, you got to a conclusion. Gloating is something like over boasting yourself, not needed. I like this one. Follow up on the ensure action plan. This is pretty important in agreements and negotiations, which means you cannot wait for a particular day will come, then you'll start the conversation. You have to follow up frequently to see how things are going on. Because people tend to forget what they negotiated and agreed and nurture the relationship very well. Okay. So now let me see and show some more points for you on negotiation. Let us see where the negotiation happens, why it happens. Okay. It is important to embrace the mindset that everything, I specifically mark that color, everything about a project is negotiable. I will not tell negotiation is not only for agreements. Negotiations could be for many areas. I'm sure this you are aware. Authority boundaries, scope, cost, schedule, requirements, releases can be negotiated. Can we do this by first quarter? Can we do it by second quarter? What is the kind of acceptance criteria? Go, no go will be negotiated with your quality team, with your sponsors. Contract terms can be negotiated. This is very evident. We have done many times this part. Assignments, roles, responsibilities. Who will be facilitating? Who will be delivering? Who will take charge of a quality for the product? Who will responsible on the holiday season? Kind of you negotiate that. What we saw between Julie and John, can I put somewhere here? Resources negotiation?
Yes.
Somewhere you can hear, right? Substantive issues that need to be negotiated. Issues. The terms and conditions agreed between your companies and policies. Sometimes negotiations can be outside your organization. Sometimes outside your portfolio, outside your department, within your organization, within your team. Yeah, negotiations, different layers. Depending on the layer, your formal level of document improves. Outside of your company, you make a legal document. Inside your company, maybe an agreement. Within your team, you may call it as way of working. Have you all heard about ground rules? Ground rules in your job, in your group? Yeah. Can I say ground rule is part of negotiation outcome? Can we say like that? You negotiated how you're going to work?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
possible. Yeah. Conditions, how you do, prices, dates, numbers, liabilities. Many more are there. What you see here is few bullet points. Now you let me know, are you getting a feel that our project, more or less, we spend much of our time on negotiating between people? Are you getting a feel like that? If you see all these bullet
Yes.
points, we are spending more of our time in negotiating. When you say negotiating, it's not fighting. It's not fighting. Shri, how you say it's not fighting? Let's understand that part. When you say negotiation, what is negotiation? Negotiation is a communication. Look at here, is a communication back and forth. Back and forth means usually look like fighting, man. No, for the purpose of making a joint decision. If you can get this, you got it. It's a back and forth for a joint decision. Why I put an example of John and Julie is, they have to come to a common ground. Common ground. You can wonder why Julie has to come to the common ground. It's a problem of John. Let me leave it. No, you're working in a company where you have the responsibility for the organization's success. You cannot tell that it's not my job. Yeah, you are part of that. In fact, the resources there, it's a critical project. So Julie can step forward. John also should be aware of what to do. A way of finding a mutually acceptable solution to a shared problem. Now again, you can question me, why Julie should worry? Now, in our classes, we learned something called organization structure. Do anyone remember this?
Yes.
What will come here? Program.
Then project.
Under program, can I put a
Post.
project? Now, when I use the word John and Julie, will they be in a different portfolios or could be same portfolio?
Same portfolio.
Different.
Different portfolio. Same portfolio. Okay. When I say there are resources being shared and used, it's a very basic stuff. It should be within the same program. If John is here, Julie could be here. Assumption. Maybe Julie could be here also, but the first point of context is within your program, within your portfolio. I will not jump to this is imagine portfolio A. there is something called portfolio B, I will not put my energy to make John to talk with Julie sitting in another portfolio. Why? Because this portfolio will be some line of business we call LOB. And this could be another LOB. There is no point John talking to somebody here. It's a waste of time. But Shri, why are you explaining these concepts? Now, you have to understand in a company how it look like. This is why you have to read the first chapters talking about organization structure. We have to learn about the governance framework, how it works. It is not bad you go and talk to some other portfolio. You can, but sometimes it won't make sense because they may not help you, because that resource is a different skill set. It is not needed for you. Now, why I'm putting here is the shared problem. When something is not working in your critical program, in your project, something's happening, you have the shared responsibility. Being in a company itself, you have shared responsibility. Top of that, it's in the same program, same portfolio. Yeah, you have to. Now, why we work on it is to understand the mutually acceptable solution. Will it be always acceptable? Not necessary, but have we conversed it? The ideal outcome, a wise decision. The word wise is important. Efficiently and amicably agreed upon. But how to do this, Shri? This is all nice, man. Whatever you say looks a good story, but how does it work? Now, when you look at the negotiation, it is not a scientific thing where you can mention that A plus B, the whole square. You can't put a formula like that. It's a people parameter. You separate the people from the problem. Why? They call us P2O2, where we say positions, focus on interest, not on the positions, right? Not on the position, not on the problem. Options, generate options for mutual gain. You have to generate options 1, option 2, option 3 before choosing. Don't narrow your thought and say that this is the way it will work. When you do that, the conflict gets more aggravated. You bring more options. What can be done? Why not this? Why not that? You try different options. You work on goal, objectives, what to be achieved. Decide based on the goals, what is the outcome, what's the result. Honestly, this area, many people don't cross. Only when you cross this area, you can go to other level. People get stuck in this area. They don't talk about the problem, they talk about the people. When I want to go to negotiate, who am I going to negotiate? Julie. Oh my God, Julie. Do you know about Julie? Have you heard about her? Man, you're new to the company? Come on, man. Have you heard this kind of dialogues? Before you start the conversation, somebody will give a word about Julie or a John. John, that fellow, my God. You know, last time what happened in the parking area? They'll start like this. It could be there, but here the situation is what to be solved, not on the people. Keeping away saves your time. And this is what leaders will do. If you're a common man, bottom 80%, in our class, you learn something called bottom 80%. Bottom 80% keep on talking about this people and other problems. The leadership people, they make a smile, they move away. Let's go solve the problem. And that's called critical thinking. Have you heard this term called critical thinking?
Yes.
So critical thinking is not something Albert Einstein has to do. You and me can do when you have this a common sense of what can be removed. But a negotiation is a skill of understanding what can be the mutual outcome can come out. There is another term called as know theirs, no improve yours, which means you should have alternatives. You should know their alternatives. You should know your alternative and start tuning and improving your alternatives. Okay, now let me know in this people, position, options, objective, which one you like, which you think good.
Options.
Options.
Third one, yeah.
People.
Generate options for mutual gain.
Options. Okay. I think
People.
this opens a door, right? When you have multiple choices.
Yes.
Okay, great. I do hear some people say to people, why some of you think this is good, important?
Because
Because a prejudiced
concentrate on the
mindset is not
problem.
going to help in the project.
Exactly. You know, I'm going to say this will be a little crazy. Many family problem starts because of this. Many people don't converse the problem. They get into people parameter because you're living with some person for a long time. You take it for granted and you have some pre-recorded mindset about someone. You leave the problem, you focus on that area. It's not wrong, I'm not saying wrong, but if you keep doing regularly on this, what will happen is that gets into conflict, that gets into trouble, and before you find a solution, you shut the door. Do anyone recognize this as a problem in family also? Family also? It
Yes.
happens. Yeah, it happens. All right, let's go and see something more on negotiation. When I say negotiation, what all can be done? There are many models of negotiation. One model is a Stephen Covey. Have you ever heard about this author, Stephen Covey? Author, motivational speaker. Have anyone heard about Stephen Covey's 7
Yes.
Habits of Highly
Yes.
Effective People?
Habits.
7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Okay. If somebody gets a chance, please read the book. Okay. In this book, he talks about a think win-win. Okay. This principle applies to all interactions, not just negotiations, but it is described here in the context. What? Win-win. Now, win-win is considered as the most optimal outcome. Why it is optimal? Because each person is satisfied. But you can question me, Shri, will this happen all the time? May not, but we try to see how can we do this. When a conflict is happening, in conflict, we bring something called collaboration technique. In collaboration technique, we collaborate with people to resolve the conflict. There we try to see how it can be best win for both the party or some of you group of the people. A win-win is optimal, but don't try you'll get always 100% here. Chances are very less, but you will see. You will see that's the first choice, it will work out. The other one is a win-lose or lose-win. This describes a competition perspective, where in order to win, someone else loses. Martyr's perspective. Have anyone heard about this perspective? Martyr's perspective. Somebody who read Bible, you may know that. It's one of the perspective where people sacrifice their life for the benefit of others. Okay, Martyr's perspective. It's a big theory behind this. Don't go there. It's a perspective where you lose, you choose to lose. It's okay, let me lose. Okay, it also happens. Lose-lose perspective. This outcome can occur when win-win outcomes may have been possible, but the competition mindset, it overwhelms collaboration. You don't want to collaborate. Then you become a more competitive. Then what happens? Lose. Both of them lose the game. Now, Shri, this all looks good, man. But I like this win-win very much. How to make win-win negotiation. Win-win doesn't mean that because we have a knowledge, we'll win the game. Win-win can go by 3 particular characters. What are they? Number one thing is the character. The parties involved are mature, demonstrate integrity. If this is not there, you cannot negotiate. Have anyone went to any store, you bought something, but doesn't work. You want to give it back. When you go and give it back, sometimes the storekeepers have this maturity and integrity. It goes very smooth. In some place, a storekeeper may not have that maturity and integrity. It becomes a fight. Have anyone seen this kind of thing in your life?
Yes.
Written thing? Yeah. It happens, right? When we go, we'll be a little worried. Will this guy will get back the material what I brought in? We need to have the worry. And we should also have the integrity and maturity when you give back the product. What I mean here is a character is very important in negotiation. See, just now you said people should not be worried. We have to focus on the problem. Yes, focus on the problem to understand what to be negotiated. But when the negotiation starts, the character should be there. If that's not there, it'll have a trouble. And you have to trust the parties, each other, establish so that the agreement starts happening. You believe on the alternatives or suggestions coming out from the other party. Approach. Each party is willing to look at the situation from the other's point of view. Wow, man, what a line, this one, from other's point. For this, there is a different word in project management books. What is that word? When you want to look from others' perspective, what is the word for it?
Empathy.
Empathy. Yeah, there you got it. Empathize. Empathy. This is what you keep learning in PMI books. Have anyone read this in any of the chapters in PMI, PMP? Empathy.
Yes. In leadership skills,
It comes again
Emotional
and again, isn't it?
intelligence.
Yeah, it comes again and again. Empathize. They keep coming. All right. So what you have seen now In negotiation, one thing you understood, there is no silver bullet. Shri, come on, man, tell me one line. I can use it. So I negotiate, I win all the time. Can I give such one line for you for negotiation here? Or it's a kind of pack, a pack where it talks about you are having one of the skill as negotiation, which means you should know conflict management, you should know the cultural things around you, you should have decision making, facilitation, leadership, meeting management, networking, observation, servant leadership, team building, and all this along with that negotiation. So when I say negotiation, it's not only with the negotiation you become a great person, or if you don't have negotiation, you lose a game. It's one of the skill set. If you have that, amazing. And when you have that, be very careful that you don't spoil the relationship. You'll be keep an eye on that. At the same time, you should not be the mattress perspective where you lose everything. It's okay, yeah, let them take. Not like that all the way. Because you're working on a critical project like a John, you cannot raise your shoulder and say that it's okay. It's not, it's okay. That project will have 15 family working on it. It could be a critical project for your organization. If you don't do that, your company may lose a huge amount of money that may lose 40 people job. Or you're coming with a healthcare product. If you don't do that properly, the healthcare will be spoiled. That could kill many people. So you should be careful enough. You cannot all the time say that's okay. No, it won't work. You have to be there. So point is, there is no one silver bullet for negotiation, but negotiation is a package which comes with multiple skill sets. And you have to keep another thing in mind. Negotiation is not only on the contract what you negotiate. You could negotiate anything and everything in project, provided there is a room for discussion to improve. If you feel something can be improved, there comes negotiation skills. Yeah, you have to be aware of it. And also we saw something about the factors: people, position, options, objective criteria. Will you remember P2O2? Is it possible?
Yes.
Yes.
P2O2. P2O2. Okay, I'll just go to next page. Let's see how many of you remember. What is P2?
People, position,
Position.
O2.
objective,
Object.
options.
Objective options.
Objective options. Good, guys. I think some of you already, oh my God, I didn't notice it. P2O2, yeah, please note it down. It's pretty important. Keep this in mind, at least P2O2 keep in mind. One thing, if you want to take out of this class, keep P2O2 in mind, not for the exam, your real life, in your real life. In your real life, in your corporate, if you want to negotiate, keep this P2O2 in your mind. Chances are you have a better conversation. You will have with a smile when you talk. You will have a confidence in your talk. Many negotiations with a smiley face, good confidence wins the game, but with some message also. You cannot be blank on that. All right. That says win, lose, lose, lose. Okay. Now, let me put a question to see how it works in your brain.